Hey there, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for this week's Bear Facts Friday, Friday, June 19th. As always, I'm going to try to filter some information for you. Mark will give you perspective, and Lisa will drop some knowledge and some wisdom for you. So this week, I wanted to talk about what are you buying when you buy a stock, and to give you two separate companies, two very powerful, very large companies, and to help you understand what value means when you're buying a security. So for every dollar of earnings, how much are you paying for that dollar of earnings? Because that's what you buy when you buy a stock. You're buying the future cash flow of whatever company, whether it's Amazon, Intel, Coke, McDonald's, every company that is publicly traded out there. And so in the example I show you here is Amazon. For every $1 of earnings of Amazon, it costs you, the investor, $120 to buy the future right to that $1 of earnings. In a company like Intel, it costs you $1 to buy, it costs you $15 to buy that $1 of future earnings. And that is what value is. So if you think about in terms of maybe a real world, what we all deal with in terms of real estate. So if you've got two houses and I've got one, and they're both next to each other, and one house cost $100 a square foot, and another house costs $500 a square foot, well, what do I have higher expected future return by? The one that's already $500 a square foot, or the one that's $100 a square foot? Of course, the one with 100. You have higher expected future return. Now, there could be a multitude of reasons as to why your house is less expensive than the one next door, but in the market, companies like Amazon are the most expensive in the world because they are such great companies and they feel that security, and all of that future expected growth is priced in, and that's why it costs you so much for that $1 of earnings, whereas to the future of Intel isn't quite as certain, even though it's still a massive company with a lot of upside. So I wanted to just kind of get you filter this information to understand really what you're buying when you're buying a stock and the price you're paying for that earnings. So hopefully this helps you a little. And then, Mark, why don't you give us perspective?
All right. So for perspective this week, with everything that's been going on in the world the first half of this year, it's no surprise that a lot of people are prioritizing safety and security now today, much more so than they were even 3 or 4 months ago. I think that probably goes without saying in many aspects of life. And when we look at people's finances in particular, there's a recent study that just came out from Win Big Media, and they found that 71% of Americans are now actually more concerned about their finances than even their health. And we often say that health is wealth and vice versa, and we really believe that no matter what the circumstances. But I think this data right here is really telling about where people are in their investment journey or just in their financial picture in particular. And so I wanted to point out and put the thought out there that when it comes to your finances and the desire to have security, that it's not just a number. It's not just that, well, if I have $1 million, I'll feel secure, or if I have $50 million, I'll feel secure. It really is a feeling as opposed to just a number, and it's specific to each person that's out there based on what your particular situation is, what your goals are, what your lifestyle is, and a number of other factors. And so how you can kind of get to that bigger or better feeling of security is by making sure you've got all your ducks in a row, making sure you've got the right pieces in place for your entire financial picture, whether it's something like an emergency fund or whether it's reviewing your overall asset allocation, your mixture between maybe stocks and bonds and real estate and other investments that you have. So again, it's normal in a time like this that we are prioritizing safety and security, especially in finances. But just think about the different ways that you can incorporate that into what you have going on.
Thanks, Mark. we are all looking forward to our Father's Day weekend. Thankfully, it looks like the weather is going to cooperate with us this weekend, and we can all enjoy some time outdoors, celebrating the dads in our life. As we are internally, we think about our dads. What are dads to us? Dads are role models. They're mentors. They're teachers, protectors, friends, and there are heroes. And all of these bundled up to the three of us in our office amount to Bill, Walt, and Tom. Three men who have been incredibly important to us and have guided us to where we are today. So this weekend, we're going to be doing what we can to honor these fine men. And in addition to these great men, I am also going to wish two other very special dads in my world, and I'm very blessed to be able to share my work day with Kenny and Mark. So I hope you two have a wonderful weekend and are appropriately celebrated by your families. Happy Father's Day.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, Lisa. I know Kenny will be playing golf probably 4 rounds in 48 hours or something like that.
Nice. And I know the mother's got "Wind Beneath My Wings" as the song. I was waiting for for our song. Well, thank you.
Nothing suitable or appropriate for the two of you.
I believe that.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in this week. Happy Father's Day to everyone out there and all of your families, and we look forward to seeing you next week.